What's good, everybody? It is the Be More Dark Knight coming at you from Lancaster, New York, at the Top Markets Distribution Center. So, the last few days, I've done deliveries mainly from PA, a little further up north, New York, New Jersey, and then there was one where I did to Massachusetts. But we're mainly going to talk about the deliveries I did from PA to New Jersey, PA to New York. So the day before yesterday, I did a round trip from the DevTech in Bethlehem, PA, to I can't pronounce the name, but it's to the Ladestra Foods in New Jersey. I think the city name starts with a P, but I can't pronounce it. Not even going to attempt to. So picked up from PA, delivered up there, picked up another trailer, took it back down to PA, then went back up to New Jersey, and then I was done for the day, and then I PC'd back home. So that was a rather long day, only because, not that New Jersey is anywhere far from PA, but just because I get a little bored doing the same thing. It is miles, and the more miles you drive, the more money you make, right? So not complaining on that. It was just simple. I was just bored, doing the same run. And then yesterday I started a run from the Kimberly Clark in Chester, PA, to where I'm at now at the Tops Market in Lancaster, New York. So let's talk about some of my learning points here. So first, when I picked up at the DevTech food, or DevTech Pet in Bethlehem, PA, let's talk about hooking up your tractor to your trailer. So that day I was able to bobtail on my first go around, my first trip up. I bobtailed, and so there's a couple steps that you're going to do when you go to hook up. Okay, obviously you're going to back your tractor into the trailer. You're going to hook and you're going to push the fifth wheel underneath the trailer and make sure that the kingpin and the fifth wheel lock. There's a bar that goes across, and the kingpin will go down and lock into place, right? Then you go and you put your airlines on, and then you lift your landing gear, right? Well, there's something that we forgot to do, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So not that I forgot it, but I just didn't mention it at this point on purpose. So when you're backing your tractor up, okay, and you get it positioned to go underneath the trailer, before you push that fifth wheel underneath the trailer, stop. Get your first set of, or your most farthest set of drive wheels underneath the trailer, and then stop. Set your brakes, put your vehicle in neutral, get out and look. All right, because there's a reason why, and you'll see it on some trailers. You'll see where there's like a little, like two lines that's in the trailer, or the trailer might be damaged. It would look like something went through it. And this is part of the teachings that my mentors gave me, my last two mentors. So I have a scar here. So the scar represents the top of, or where my scar is, represents the top of the fifth wheel, right? Fifth wheel plate. Now, my fingers represents the back part of the fifth wheel plate that initially goes underneath the trailer. Okay? So when you get to your trailer and you start backing in, and you get those first set of drive wheels underneath, you stop, you get out and look. What you're looking for is to make sure that this is two forks, okay? Make sure that those forks are going to go underneath the trailer, okay? Because if not, you're going to have to lift the trailer up, okay? Or if the trailer's too high, you may have to bring it down, okay? This is why you get out and look, okay? So once you determine that, the fifth wheel plate is going to go underneath, Now, the next thing you want to make sure of is that the trailer is going to sit on top of the fifth wheel plate. It's too easy. You'll be able to see it. All right. Now, once you determine that, let's say, yes, you're good to go on all of that. Then what you're going to do, get back into your tractor and you start backing. All right. Now, you're going to see your trailer move left, right, so forth, so on and so forth. And all that means is that the fifth wheel is going underneath the trailer and it's picking it up and it's moving it around. Now, you're going to keep backing, and you may get a boom, and the trailer's going to shake, the truck's going to shake a little bit, and you're going to think, hey, I'm good to go. I'm going to get out. I'm going to hook up my airlines, and I'm going to lift the landing gear. Stop. Before you hook up those airlines and before you lift up that landing gear, most importantly, before you lift up that landing gear, get out, take a bright flashlight, or some people wear those, I call them minor flashlights, so you just strap around your forehead and you can look. Get out, physically go underneath the trailer, look at the fifth wheel, okay? Look where the fifth wheel shank locks into the back of the fifth wheel and that bar has crossed. If you see that bar crossed, you're good to go. But what you still want to do before you hook up anything or start lifting anything, get back into your tractor and do a tug test. Okay, all you're going to do is, just like for those of you who went to the Swift Driving Academy, all you're going to do is a simple tug test. You're going to push the tractor brakes in. You're going to leave the trailer brakes applied. You're going to put your vehicle in drive, and you're going to push the gas. Okay? And don't do it like we did in school where you see your tractor do this. No, you want to do it so where you can see the trailer and the tractor do this. All right? Do it twice. All right? If you do it like this, not really telling you if it's really hooked up. But if you do it like this, and she doesn't do anything other than that, you're good to go. All right. Now, once you're good on that, set your brakes, put your vehicle back in neutral, then go out, hook up your airlines, and then go to lift up your landing gear. I'm sorry, I just got a load assignment for tomorrow, so awesome, great. So I guess I'll be beating feet back down to PA sometime, probably today, so I can make it to where I need to. New message arrived, but anyway, I'll check that out in a little bit. That's probably what I'm going to do, is start beating feet back down there so I can kind of plan what I need to do. Sit at a truck stop or something. So anyway, so after you got all that, you're good to go. You're ready to send your 2 or your 6, your macros, and do what you got to do, right? Okay, so that was the first learning point, and the reason why I said that is because I backed in, I hooked up, not hooked up as far as my airlines and lifting my landing gear, but just the pushing my fifth wheel under. And before I got out and looked, I went to see if I could do the tug test. And as I went to do the tug test, the truck rolled right from underneath the trailer, and I was like, "Oops, nope, let's try it again." Backed up, got the little bang. This time I went underneath. I saw that my fifth wheel release arm was in. That's a great sign, but I also want to go under and make sure that that bar is crossed and that it's locked into place. So I was good to go on that. So the very next thing is when I got to my current location in Lancaster, New York, I went to back into the door that they had assigned to me, and got everything, opened the doors, started, I backed in, I got it in straight, and then I pulled up a little bit so I could open the doors, and then backed in again, bumped the dock, and went to drop my landing gear, release the airlines, And then I went to pull the fifth wheel release arm, and that thing was like stuck, not going anywhere. So this is another lesson that I'm going to talk to you about, much like when I was having the problems up in New Jersey, where a gentleman, another Swift driver, helped me get my tandems unlocked because my truck was, the trailer was like on an angle like that. So after a couple minutes struggling and it's not doing anything, and I'm getting ready to push on, I don't know if I have it here, let me make sure I got it, that button right there, the fifth wheel unlock button, to see if that was going to work. Nothing. I kept getting out looking and nothing was happening. So I realized that my tractor was sitting on a slight incline, right? So a little platform. So I got, I beat the horn to make sure nobody was trying to get into the trailer. I looked, the green light was still on, the green light was still on. So that means nobody was in the trailer doing anything. So I pulled forward slightly. Actually, I did a tug test just to make sure if anybody was in there, a gentle tug test. And then after I cleared that, then I pulled forward. Let me check this message real quick. Let's see what they're saying. Oh, next load information. Okay, cool. So after that, I pulled forward just a little bit, just enough to get my tractor off of that platform and get it even. And as soon as I did that, I went and pushed the fifth wheel unlock button, and I heard the fifth wheel release arm unlock. And I went and took a look. Everything was unlocked. I had already rolled up the landing gear just enough to clear the pavement so I'm not dragging it. And I had reattached the airlines. But once I got that unhooked, then I backed up ever so gently, just enough so it wouldn't relock, and then I'd have the same problem I just had. And then I dropped the trailer and unhooked, and it was a live unload. And at this location, if you're doing a live unload, they want you to disconnect from the trailer and go have a Coke and a smile or something while you're waiting for them to do the live unload. But after that, my trailer was unloaded. I sat for probably about 45 minutes, maybe to an hour, waiting for them to do that. And then after that, I was good to go. So yeah. So that was these last few days, and very interesting. So I am going to take a look at this next load assignment and see where it's going to. It looks like I'm going to be leaving New York, thank goodness, because I really want to roll out of here, because it was snowing for a little bit, which was, the gentleman I talked to said it was weird for this time of year that it's snowing in this location. And I want to get back to PA, and I think that's where my load is. I think it's basically PA to PA, so a quick local run. So I'm going to go check that out. I've got some drive time here, and I might just start making my way back towards that direction and be closer, so when it's time for me to roll out tomorrow, I am good to go. I can just go and sit at a truck stop or something. All right, so with that being said, it's been a good couple days. I think for this first week, I've run maybe about 1,700 miles. I'm probably going to hit just over 2,000 once I hit start heading back to PA. So, my goal, and this is something I'm going to talk to my driver later about, is I actually want to try to do about 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week. I don't know how likely that is. Today marks my first official week as a solo truck driver, and I think I did pretty good. I know I've made some mistakes in planning. I've learned some things as far as like I was talking about hooking up and adjusting my tandems and things like that. I had to send a couple macro 22s. One, I got sick on the way up here, so I had to send it, and I was only 30 minutes late, and the shipper didn't trip at all. My driver leaders was cool. They actually pulled another load off because I told them and I'm still kind of queasy. Um, so they were really cool about it, and I had sent them that information in plenty enough time to where they could find another driver to take the load that I was previously assigned to. So gave them enough time to do that. I think it's just courtesy and professionalism. If you're not going to be able to do something, talk to your driver's leaders in plenty enough time so they can work it out to put another driver on. Don't wait, if at all possible, don't wait until the last minute to try and get something done, because it might be bad for everybody. Uh, and I've had some loads to where I picked up that they were assigned to me late. And I'm not going to say it was the fault of any specific person or entity. That's just the way that this career that I've chosen goes. Maybe somebody called in, they couldn't take the load, much like when I was going back and forth from PA to New Jersey. The gentleman that called in sick, and they called me and they said, "Hey, we noticed you have time to drive. Can you do these loads for us?" And oh, by the way, it's a round trip. And I said, "Hey, sure, why not? I could use the extra miles. Who am I to say no, right?" Like I said, it goes back to more miles, more money, right? So a good first week. Some lessons definitely learned. And for me, when I start thinking about my upcoming week, what I'm going to do better, the one thing that I know I have to work on is trip planning. Not a whole lot of work on it, but there's some small things that I need to tweak. And when you're in this profession, hey, look, I'm just going to tell you like this. They know that you're going to make mistakes, especially in your first week. You're going to make mistakes. You're nervous. You're excited at the same time. You want to get the job done right and on time and safe. All these things are going through your mind, and everything that you learned in school and everything that you learned with your mentors, all that's going through your mind, right? And you, like I said, you want to impress yourself. You want to impress those who know that you're doing this job, or doing this career, because it may not just be a job for you. There is a difference between a job and career, but you just want to do a good job. So do not beat yourself up if you make a few mistakes. I've made a few mistakes on the logs. I've got messages back from my driver's leader, my fleet leader, like, "Hey, I need you to correct your log." Boom, I go back in and they'll tell you what's wrong with your log. And I went back in, I was like, "Oh man, yeah, I did mess that up." Go back in and I fixed it. Not a big deal. They want to make sure that you're compliant, you're doing the right things, and they have to be compliant as a company. And we as a company, as a company, have to be compliant. So again, don't beat yourself up if you're just starting on your solo tour, or just starting your as a team driver. You're gonna make mistakes, but when you go week to week, figure out what you did wrong, figure out how you can do it better. All right. Eventually, you're going to build that system. I know drivers who have been driving for at least 5 years, 10 years, and they're like, "I'm still making mistakes." So I don't feel bad that I've made these mistakes. I still in contact with my last two mentors, and I ask them questions and I talk to them, and they say the same thing. Even sometimes they're still making mistakes. The biggest mistake that you can make, as far as this Qualcomm is concerned, or delivering your loads on time or not, is not communicating with your support at your terminals. You got to communicate. All right, that's a big thing, and obviously, be safe. All right, so with that, I think I've taken up enough. I think I've taken up about 20 minutes of your life. So with that, be safe. Again, if you're an experienced driver or a new driver, or you're looking to go to school and you want to come to Swift, please contact me, coolbemoretrucker@gmail.com, or leave a comment here. Every time I see comments, I try my best to go back and respond. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel. and let's bring more drivers in. And hey, you know, at this time, you know, we need the truck drivers. It's probably one of the most thankful jobs out there right now that in our first responders, because we're the ones pushing all the merchandise to where it needs to be. So again, everybody be safe. Stay at home if you don't have to go out, and just take care of one another. All right. This is the Baltimore Dark Knight. I'm out of here.